Don't blink, it should blink. Welcome to our show. Just doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this gorgeous, and I do mean gorgeous. 3rd August 2025. What you're saying? August. This is the second video that we do today, right? You're good. That is the second video that we do today. I don't have a lot of time, so ergo, you're not gonna see me doing the amazing intro that we are usually known for. What was that? You don't care. I'm in a good mood today. We woke up about 40 minutes ago, so well, not 40. It's now an hour. So I was not in a good mood. I don't know what would be happening to me, right? Um, I have a lot of time tonight. However, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a couple episodes because I would like to do a TikTok live, and then I would like to come back, and then we're gonna be focusing on the Lost. So tomorrow when we do Lost, I'll be able to do a Lost. It's just a bunch of stuff that I have to do. So it's a busy day. Am I nervous? A little bit, yes. I don't want the price we pay. I get so high when you're with me. Now prices. It's not my favorite song by Kesha. My favorite song is possibly uh, oh what a shame you. No, it's I hear your heartbeat, feel the beat of the drums. Oh what a shame that you came here with someone. So while you here in my arm. That's probably my favorite song. So we have episode number 14 special. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a Mikael episode. Michelangelo. A mysterious beast manifests itself again when Michael and Locke come into conflict. Saeed recruits Shannon for to help him decipher. Oh, that was a nice word. The card of the French girl, which is Danielle. I don't know why they call it. It to me, it's a bit of a ish. Yeah. I mean, we a blast. What? Oh, pray thou. Oh, wait a second. We're texting a cute chick. The price I pay. Oh, pray thou. Oh, pray thou. Oh, pray thou. There you go. There you go. It's a pet peeve that they call it the French girl. Cause I'm French, so I'm like, dude, she has a name. It's like she has a name. It's like, but you know what I noticed? La Fontaine Hermes. So you has a nickname from everybody. Kate is Freckles. Jack is the doctor. John, I don't know the name. Michael is Chief. Jin is Chewy. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I can get Chief because he's kind of in charge of the boats, but I don't get Chewy. Oh, break down. There you go. So we have Mikael. Flashback. I absolutely love Mikael. Now, in this case, this is phenomenal. Why? Because we finally have a flashback make sense. For example, most of the flashbacks were behind stories. Now, in Mikael's case, what I absolutely adore is that we having a flashback as soon as he learns to be a father. Mikael's biggest trait as a character is being a father, being protective towards Walt. So him having flashback as a father is actually quite nice. It's actually quite apropos. So Michael comes in and he's like, they're shopping for baby seats. Now the coolest thing is they're broke. It's Michael and Susan. If I remember the name of the character, because I either liked her or not. Susan, it's odd. Do I like Susan? I don't know. I don't think I like her, but I don't think I hate her. But that's the weird thing. Oh my god. One of the first characters that I don't like and don't dislike, but I do care about. Susan is important. So they have a kid, and then Michael is like, yo, and this is the saddest thing. They buy a baby crib, and Susan goes in and say, hey, that's 3 months worth of rent. Sorry, we had we're a bit sick today. That's 3 months of rent, and he's like, don't worry, I'll pick up some shift. And then at this time, Michael is an artist, which is sad because Michael, no, sorry. Oh my god, this is when you see that this is my first video of the day. It's early. Super nice. So Michael's the father, Walter's the son. Michael wanted to be an artist, so it would have been better if well, not better, but it would have been easier to get along with Walt if he was an artist. So they said, I'll start construction. So he's kind of giving up his dream for her. However, she's following a course. Right now, she's a nurse. She wants to become a lawyer. She'll succeed into that lawyer thing. Then what happened is she leaves for this trip, right? And then she's in Australia, and she had Walt. So then Michael's like, yo, I want to come. And then she's like, I can't, I'm working, I can't. And then in the background, he's hearing the voice of a man. Now that man is Brian Porter. Fuck you, Brian Porter, you piece of shit. So Brian Porter comes in and it's like, who's that guy? And then she's like, oh, I've been seeing someone. And the best thing ever, which I love Michael so much. I love Michael. I think Michael is really my favorite character. And I say that about everybody, but still. Michael says, I'm coming over. And then Susan's like, no, I don't love you. And the guy's like, I'm not coming for you, I'm coming for my son, which I fucking loved. But then he goes and he gets hit by a car. Because he gets hit by a car, he's not able to walk, and this is why he wasn't part of Walt's life as a baby. Because the car hit him so hard that he couldn't even get on the plane. He couldn't walk in himself. What did it stop? So then, Brian comes in. So we learned that Susan died. So Brian comes in and said, yo. And this is kind of crazy cool. I actually love that. Like I said, Michael, amazing character. What I want to do, I think I'm going to do one episode. We'll do a TikTok live, then we'll come back and do two episodes. Then we'll stream, then we'll do, in the morning we'll do 3 episodes. The reason as to why is I'm going to have a problem with batteries. Right now it's 6:30, I need to be filming until 9:30. I got 2 ways of doing that. The first way is finishing this video, charging the phone until 100%, then filming until it reaches 15, and then going in. And for this phone is gonna be okay because when I do the TikTok live, I'm gonna do it for this phone super simple. I'm glad you asked. We'll charge it with the battery pack. I have this one. It's a bit not good. This one is not good because it's solar panel, but it's take its time to charge. So then Brian Porter comes in, and then he said, hey, Susan died. He said, I don't want to be a father. And Michael, the best thing is, he wants more than anything. But it's like, no, you have to be his father. He thinks like, if you're his father, then I can't, man. I didn't want to be a father. And he said, well, why did you adopt him? She said, oh, I did for her. And then he said there's something weird with Walt. Things happen next to him. A lot of things happen with him when he's around. The bad stuff. Now, again, this could be meaningful in a sense of they're supposed to... Every single character is kind of special. And we see Boone being not a special guy, but there for Shannon. Michael could be that for Walt. Walt could be the special character, and then Michael could be the guy trying to save him. It's kind of funny because we see Claire, right? And Claire comes in. Claire comes in, and Claire's like, I need to protect my baby, you know? So we see this as a maternal aspect. We see mom a lot. And then Michael comes in and is like, yo, I'm gonna do the same thing for my son. So we have a really, really cool. In the last episode, we know that Michael found his letters. This is the insane part. Locke is there. See, this is why I fucking love Lost. It's amazing. So John is taking care of Walt because Walt is always following him, and Walt is like, yo, you teach me how to survive, right? And Michael's like, no, you're not gonna teach my kid to survive. He's a kid. Fuck that. But John, I think John is right here because John is like, yo, this kid gonna need to survive. This is not normal. This guy has been through hell. like in a month he was in a car crash and his mom died. So he needs to be guided in some ways. Now the coolest thing with that um is that Michael is also right, because Michael already lost his son to one man. So um as a father, Michael's in a position of, yo, this is my kid. You're not gonna be the father of my kid. And then Brian was the father of the kid. Then John could be the second Brian. It's like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. I finally have Walt. Then I have a fight because Locke is involving. However, in this case, I have to side with John because the kid is going to John. The kid is going to John and saying, "Yo, can you teach me?" It's not like John is forcing the kid. The kid is asking. You got Saeed and
What are we talking about doing now? For another excuse to get chased down and killed by whatever lives in the jungle? Guys, we can't keep doing this. Building water filtration systems, playing golf, making a swimming pool. Yeah, we need to get off this island.
he's right. They're planning on how to better be at survival, and then he said we should put our effort into into ouch, fuck. We should put our effort into getting out of the island. What they're trying to say is the transmitter to get to know what's up. So for example, Saeed came back from the French, right? And she's saying like, yo, she has a lot of stuff. She has battery we can use. He wants to use the battery for the transmitter. So, fuck. You see, I don't remember. There's such a cool thing. Such a cool thing. We see a Flash comic book. So Walt is reading a Flash comic book. Now, why is that so cool? Because we later learned that the comic book was from Hugo. So it was speaking Spanish. I thought the book was somebody that was dead, right? And no, it's from Hugo. So that's actually pretty cool. We have uh, we have Michael trying to do some stuff with Walt, which to be helping him, to be teaching him some stuff. See, this is what I love about Michael. Michael tells Walt, "Hey, I'm gonna be teach me some stuff, and I'm gonna teach you some stuff." And then I don't know if he wants to. I don't want if he wants to. It's there's a part of father stuff, but it's also a part that you see that John is teaching his kid stuff, and his kid is willing to learn. So it's like, okay, you want to learn? I'll teach you stuff. Which I actually did like. So they're building a second raft because again, is it now that the raft burned or not?
Mark, put everything you find in the pile so we can take stock.
I think they're building the first raft. The first raft. Yeah, I think they're building the first raft. So somebody stole Claire's diary, and that's such a shame because she was writing a diary. I think it's the only one on the island. I would love to see Claire's diary. I would love to see. It's such a good concept. Like, hey, this is how the survivor feel. This is how a survivor that's not a survivor feels. So, for example, like I said before, in Lost, there's a lot of people that are just working for the betterment of the camp, but most people aren't doing shit. So seeing somebody that doesn't do shit and how they feel about it, because even though those people aren't as important, I got a mosquito bite a lot today. Even though those people aren't as important as our main cast, they're still important. Claire, as of right now, she's not important. So then there's this just diary, right? And Charlie did not know that she was running a diary, and somebody stole it. So then we end up knowing that it's Sawyer. Now this is kind of a shitty move from Sawyer, but it's out of desperation because there's so little things to read there that everything, which is a book, could be used. So then Sawyer ET's Charlie's like, yo, don't you want to know what she thinks about you? And Charlie kind of is like, no. But Charlie, as a junkie, has a problem with Will and with this thing. So in the end, he ends up reading the diary, which I think is kind of fucked up. See, Sawyer, this is the craziest thing. Sawyer is supposed to be an asshole. So Sawyer is known to be an asshole. So when he does something that's questionable, you're like, oh my god, Sawyer, this is disgusting. Like, no. classic Sawyer. He's a piece of shit. We know he's a piece of shit. So actually quite kind of like that. Oh, I have an ID. This is a good ID too. I look around me. So when Sawyer does something wrong, you don't care. When Charlie does something wrong, then he's an asshole. No, he just did what Sawyer did. How come you didn't say Sawyer you're an asshole, but you're saying Charlie you're an asshole? And that is the beauty of it. I am so happy because we've been filming for 25 minutes, and we're not having problem with the we're not having problem yet with the let's not say too early with the heat. So this is actually pretty shitty. Kate is the one that tells him don't do that, which is cool because when he does something wrong, there's a bit of a part of oh, leave him alone. You know how he is, right? And but when he's doing something bad, and she's gonna be like, yo, don't do that. So she is kind of like his moral compass. Again, we got a fight between Michael and John. So it's all the question of, do we think John is bad or not? Got Charlie that's trying to resist reading diary. Now, what is kind of cool is reading Claire's diary. Kind of an asshole move, but don't voice it out. So it's like, I know your secret, but the viewer's not gonna know the secrets. Now, isn't diary is something important? Probably not. It's just it's just instances to. It's sort of just instances to whatchamacallit, to put those characters together, right? So, for example, we have another couple. We have Jin and Sun. We have Kate and Sawyer. You see, blood. Fuck. I hate mosquitoes. We have Kate and Sawyer's. We have Claire and Charlie. So there's a lot of people that are in a relationship. Once again, they lose Vincent. Vincent going out all the time. I don't know how it feels. I don't know if it's normal for us to do that. We have this perfect place, and I gotta say the episode ends in the best fashion. So Walt leaves because he's fighting with Michael. And Walt leaves, and the first thing that Michael does is he goes see John. Where the fuck is Walt? And then he fights. This is a very powerful scene. Why? Because John cares a lot about Walt. Okay, that's a bit weird. I think John acts this fatherly because he didn't have a father. So he does have daddy issues. And instead of okay. So in this case, it's gonna be a weird thing to talk about, but fine. Daddy issues, in most cases, will be attraction to older men. In this case, daddy issues for a straight guy, for example, that also has daddy issues. I would. This is gonna be personal. It has nothing to do with Lost. So if you're here for Lost, I'm so sorry. We're gonna talk about something else. In this case, I have the best example. I don't have daddy issues, but I have sister's issues. My sister died. Yeah. So, a lot of the women that I'm seeing, it's hard for me to stay friend with them. Because either it's ending up in Lost or Lost L-U-S, not L-O-S-C, although that would be funny. Or it ends up I'm seeing you as a sister. And I think that's important. Yep. So we see Michael, Walt is stuck in a tree, right? So Walt ran away from it. Now, the weird thing here is this Apollo bear. We don't know how many of them there are. I don't know if he kills them. I think it's once again the island giving him an illusion as to, hey, you need to save your son. So Michael goes to save the son, and it's a really cool moment I have to give props, all my props to John. John sees the kid and he's like, he could save him, but then he tells Michael how to save the kid, and he gives him a knife. He said, "Save your kid." And at the same time, it's so cool because in one of the first episodes, John is like, "Yo, I found the dog of your son, but I want you to be the one that gave it to him." And then he said, "I can save your son, but I want you to save him." So that was actually a really cool moment. And this is how the episode ends. So again, not super important. When I'm watching Lost, I'm realizing that, and that's super sad. And this is how we differentiate from other shows. I don't really, you can still skip some stuff, but that's because I don't care about it. And I find myself not really caring about that everyday life, day to day, every day, day to day. I don't know if that's a good thing. Life of the survivor. I just care about what they're going through. I have time for another episode, so let's do another episode. Sounds good? Sounds delightful. So the episode is called Claire is back. Oh yeah, okay. So it's kind of nuts because Claire, oh man, this was shitty. We missed something that's important. But at the same time, we didn't start the episode, so it's not a big deal. We hear noise. So again, we have Sawyer and what's his name? We have Sawyer and John. No, so not Sawyer. Sorry, Boone and John that goes out and to explore the island, right? And then they see Claire. So Claire come back and she doesn't know anybody. She has amnesia. So I don't know if the amnesia is trauma wise or something. She's okay. Her baby's okay. She's okay physically. Mentally, she's not doing so well. So we have episode number 5, which is A la dérive. I don't know. Yes, A la dérive in English. A la dérive is like lost in the sea. And again, what we have Ethan come back. Claire is back and she lost every single souvenir since the crash. Jack and Locke are concealing a plan versus his aggressor that says, "I'm gonna kill the other one." So how it goes, we're gonna go. What is that? Is that more of Charlie's? Yeah, it's more of Charlie's. So I'm gonna go with the flashback after because this flashback is not. See, I don't like Charlie. So why are there? Because Ethan. No, I can't tell you. This is too much of a spoiler. Let's do it in order like we usually do. We have more of Charlie being a junkie, and this time what he does is he's seducing like super wealthy woman. So in this case, he seduces. Sedu is in French. He seduces a wealthy daughter, and she actually likes him. And Charlie is, in this case, it's not so bad as something Sawyer would done or even Kate did, but it's still because Charlie. It's always going to be a moral compass. If a person is pretty low on the moral compass, what they're doing is more excusable because you don't expect much from them. Charlie is pretty high in the moral compass. He's a junkie that wants to be a good guy. He wants to be a good guy. He does good deeds. Because he does good deeds, when he does a bad deed, people notice. So at the end, she gets him a job. She gets him everything that he wants. They feel bad for him because his band is gone and he doesn't know what to do. So they give him a job, and then it's kind of crazy because he makes a plan with his drug dealer. The drug dealer is like, "Yo, you don't need to pay me, but whatever you do, we'll split into." So he knows that Charlie is a big ticket money. So what he does is he feeds him drugs for free, because at the end the money he's gonna make is gonna be more than if he was paying for drugs. And then Charlie steals from the people, so they kind of forsake him. Charlie see that Claire is back. Now this is kind of like a shame because Claire, she's freaking out. She's like, "Yo, who are you guys?" She doesn't remember anything. At where I am, there's not a lot of memories that are back to her. Now this is kind of amazing because she lost her memory. She saw the others, and she doesn't recognize them. That's important. Well, Daniel, which is a French woman, she'll come back to camp and Claire won't recognize her. However, Daniel will come back with claws, right? With claws mark. And then Claire's like, yo, I did this to you. And that's how you remember that, okay, well, Danielle, she's not a good person. So yeah, pretty much it. So Claire come back and she's like, okay, well, what we're gonna do, she doesn't remember shit. And it's kind of weird. So got Charlie right away who's saying like, hey, I'm your friend, don't worry, you can trust me. Now, in the same time, the biggest pro of the flashback is Charlie, at the end, even though as a junkie, he takes a job. And the girl's like, I get what you still, I guess what you like because you're a junkie. Why you take the job? And Charlie says, listen, I want to help you, I want to take care of you. And then the ending of the flashback is the girl saying, you won't be able to take care of anybody. You're a nothing. Why is that important? Well, it's important when you think about Charlie as a junkie. That's important because you're in a position of. We could be in a position where this is the second time that he does that. He feels the same way about Claire that he felt about the woman. He wants to protect her. So it's past behavior that repeats itself. Which would be in the case of. And I have to say, this is actually kind of nice. So at the end, I'm going to spoil it right away. Ethan come back, right? And then Charlie kills him. I'm not going to say why, but he kills him, right? And that's actually something I fucking hate about Charlie. Because, like, yo, you're impulsive. You just take a decision that you're not supposed to take. This is dumb. However, it could be seen as, I'm going to take care of you. It could be seen as a failure from the past and making sure that it doesn't fail again. And if it is, that's actually pretty cool. We don't know what to do. More people are like, yo, just leave her alone. She'll remember what she remembers. Charlie goes with Jin. So Jin is actually pretty strong. And they have this kind of new rules. It's not a rule per se, but it's a rule. It's a rule of, like, yo, if they come back to us, what do we do? How do they defend themselves? Charlie goes in the wood and he sees Jin. He's like, yo, let's travel together. Because it's safer. Ethan throws something at Jin. What he throws is actually a really, really old thing. What you do is you take a rope and you take two rocks. So that's what you're going to do is, if you throw it like that, the rock is going to turn. And turn, and turn, and turn. And this turning is going to call EMC. E equal MC2. Energy equal mass corporelle times 2. So the heavier something is, the more it's going to get speed, which is physics. So because it's getting speed, it attacks you. And it's become kind of powerful weapon. So that's actually pretty good. And that's actually one of the first things that was discovered. See? Which is nuts because that possibly means that gravity and physics was discovered very early on. We got John and Jack, and what I love about this case is they're not really getting along. They have this completely different side of them, right? Ah, man, this is so nice. And they get together for a common enemy. There's this sentence that really blows my mind, and it's nothing unites like a common enemy. So I thought that was apropos. I thought that was kind of nice here. Next on the list we have what? Next on the list we have something that's actually quite important. I'm gonna check if I'm done with this. 56%. We're not done. We're close to being done, which is great. Which is not great because we're gonna be late. But however, today at 10 I have to go to a store. I have to go to the government again. So we're gonna be closer to. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to work as much today. So the fact that they came together to take care of the other people is kind of nice. Now it causes also a problem because Jack and the mallet, he found a lot of guns. He found 4 guns to be exact. There's 5 guns on the island. The 5th gun was on the person of the marshal. The 4 guns could be used in this case. We don't know how many bullets they are. And they're saying like, yo, we don't know how many people there are, so it could be just Ethan. But in this case, we don't know if Daniel and Ethan are working together. We know that there's at least one person that's coming after them. Which is weird because why would there only be one person? Right? It doesn't make any other sense. It doesn't make any other sense. We know from the French lady that there's other people on the island, right? But if it was more than just, if it was only Ethan, she'd say, oh, this strange man, versus other people, you know? It's a bit of a flaw. So we see Jin and Sun. Now, why is that amazing scene? This is gonna sound bad, but they don't understand what's going on because nobody talks to them. So Sun is asking Jin, "Hey, what do you think's going on?" Like, and Jin says, "I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna take care of it." You know. And he's even saying like, "Yo, they're doing something bad, and this is why we're gonna attack." Got more of Charlie and Claire. It's funny because Claire kind of remembered that Charlie and her were close. So I actually do like that. It's not like I remember everything, but I do remember something. Boone is taking care of everything, and that sucks. Boone is supposed to take care of the island, but he falls asleep, and somebody else is killed. So what they do is kind of crazy because they find a body and they think the body is dead. Now you see that the nape of the neck is broken, so that's insane. So now we got the funeral, which is also a good thing because we established that we were having funerals before. You know, it's actually pretty cool. So, in this case, now people are worried, like, yo, how did the person die? When they got killed, who killed them? Other people? What are the people? So you cannot hide the secret anymore. So you're putting a chaotic situation where you cannot control people because they're fearful. Fearful is a chaotic emotion, you can't control it. Claire and Shannon talk. Again, Shannon could have been super cool and say, yo, you're this person, being mindful that Claire is suffering from amnesia. However, she doesn't give a fuck. Now, this could be seen as something good. Treat you normal no matter what. This could be cool. So now, Jack is giving a gun to Locke. Now, the coolest thing about this is an episode before, not 3, not 4, not 5, he was saying, hey, I don't know if you can trust Locke. So giving him a gun is actually quite hard. Give me a sec, got a text. Yeah, nice. Noise. Sawyer goes in, he asks for a gun. Now this, with Jack, is the coolest fucking thing. Because he tells Sawyer like, yo, I know you know how to shoot. The question is, who knows how to shoot? Because most people are there. Jack takes a gun, he doesn't know how to shoot. Locke takes a gun, he knows how to shoot. And then you know that Sawyer knows how to shoot. So there's like 3 people that take a gun. Now Kate, no, I'm so sorry, Saeed is also there. Kate is like, I want a gun too. And he said, sorry. And this is the craziest thing, because this is again a showcase of how differently Jack treats Kate versus how differently Sawyer treats Kate. So Jack in this case is like, yo, I'm sorry, you cannot go. And it's like, Sawyer's like, no, if you want to come, I have a gun too, which is of the Marshall. So then you realize that they have 5 guns, so they're good. So this, Jack is trying to protect Kate. Sawyer's like, no, you're your own woman, I got you. Well, I thought that in this case, Sawyer was a bit better. However, I understand how Jack feels. But then he's pissed at Sawyer because he hit a gun. Now, the hitting the gun, it's kind of like a 2 thing. It's kind of very, very important. Why? By hiding the gun, he could have... again, this is important. This is literally the safety of people. However, he didn't use it. So if you hit a gun that you could have used, you could have killed someone, but you didn't do. So in this case, I'm not really mad at you, right? So now they take Claire as a bait. Ethan comes in and they subdue him. Now the question is to question him. However, what Charlie does is Charlie shoots at Ethan, and he really shoots at Ethan, and it's nuts. It's not because he shoots at Ethan in a way where he killed him, and we could have used him. I first I was pissed at Charlie because I was like, yo, what are you doing, dude? We could have used this. But then, guess what? I think in this case, it makes sense thanks to the flashback. It made sense thanks to the flashback. So, Jack comes in and tells Charlie, what did you kill him, bro? That was not cool. You understand what you did was kind of wrong. And it's like, yo, this guy's an animal. This guy was dangerous. I protected the camp. And in this case, it's a scenario of Charlie, am willing to go someplace you're not willing to go. Ergo, I am willing to go farther to protect the camp than you are. And to me, that was kind of nice. That was kind of nice because we want to see the camp protected. You might not care about every single character. We care about most characters. Might not care about it's so complex. For example, they do something like a trope. For example, we have the weather reporter or the science reporter, the science teacher, and we introduce him just to kill him the same episode. So that's kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts. Now, how did they made a mistake? They said that there was 46 characters, so there's always gonna be these characters. By the way, I forgot a joke, which is pretty sad actually. The guy who died, the person who got killed, was Steve. Steve was a twin, so he was a twin. He had another twin. So whenever one of them is dead, we'll call him Scott. No, that's Steve. Steve's dead. I forgot I had this. This is beautiful. Anyway, I gotta go. We'll TikTok live. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.